Hi, so in today's video I'm going to show you the top 5 web hosting providers I've actually tried in the past 4 to 5 years. When I first started blogging, I first started with free platforms such as Google Blogger, WordPress.com, where you get given a free website and write up some posts. But hosting a website on those free providers is actually not recommended, and it's not worth it because you cannot make money from those platforms. Okay, even when it comes to monetizing those websites, Google usually refuses because you need to have your own domain name, and probably you need to also host your website on faster servers and so on. So in today's video I'm going to show you the top 5 web hosting providers I've actually tried and which one among them is the best. So if you're not sure of which web hosting to go for, okay, this is actually one of the questions that I usually get asked, like, Keith, which web hosting provider should I go for, and which one is the best, which one can I afford? So in this video I'm going to explain all that. But before I show you the 5 web hosting providers I've actually tried, so let me first explain on one thing when it comes to web hosting. So first of all, what is web hosting? So when it comes to websites, okay, you actually pay 2 fees. The first fee you actually pay is called for a domain name. So what is a domain name? So a domain name is a website name. For example, keithrins.me is a domain name. Okay, google.com is a domain name, is a website name. So website name actually cost of about $20 per year. Okay, and these you pay them yearly, but if you want you can pay for 4 years, for 5 years, it's up to you. Then the other thing you actually pay for is web hosting. Okay, and web hosting comes in many forms. There is cloud hosting, managed hosting, VPS, and so on. And I'm going to explain more on that, although I already have videos explaining the differences on this, but I'm going to go quick. Okay, so when it comes to web hosting, okay, the cost depends from provider to provider, but it's mainly from $1 to as high as $1,000 a month. Okay, per month, yeah, but if you want you can pay per year. Okay, so what is web hosting? So web hosting, okay, for example, when you buy a domain name, okay, you also need to buy hosting. So hosting, you actually rent a computer which is ever online having your website files. So when you enter keithrins.me, okay, so your computer is going to download the website on my server and is going to present them on your screen in a way better, like in a readable way. So to better explain this, web hosting, for example, is when you are renting a computer which is having a website, a computer which is ever online. So it's possible to host your website on your laptop, but it is not recommended because, for example, here where I am in Zambia, internet is slow, okay, and I can't afford to keep my laptop always 24/7, always online, and the traffic I receive on my website is a lot, and my laptop would crash from that traffic. So it's not really recommended, and it's not easy to host your own website on your laptop. So for this is where actually web hosting companies comes in, because they have got super computers, super powerful computers able to handle traffic, which are very fast. They can handle millions of traffic, they can handle millions of transactions, they can handle millions of computation requirements. Okay, so this is what you actually pay for. So when it comes to hosting, there's cloud hosting. So cloud hosting, for example, Google provides cloud hosting. Okay, there's also shared hosting. So shared hosting is where you actually you share web hosting with other people. Okay, for example, shared hosting, the cheapest is the one you can actually get for like $2 or $3 or $5 a month, but it is not recommended because it is vulnerable to attacks, and it is usually slow because it's like, imagine like on your laptop you're hosting 20 websites for other people, so eventually the laptop usually will get slower, and if the other user gets infected, even your website can as well get infected. So there's also what's called VPS, virtual private server. This is where you actually rent the entire server to yourself. It's quite expensive, but it is good. Okay, so enough with the explanations. So by now you must have an idea on what hosting is, the types of hosting which are there. So what's the first web hosting provider I've tried? So let me try to remember which one was it. Okay, so the first website, if I remember well, I've tried out was actually Cloudways. Okay, so it was actually Cloudways. So what is Cloudways? So Cloudways actually makes uses of other hosting providers, and it gives you a nice control panel. By that time, it was costing of about $10 a month. Okay, so what happened was that at that time when I was starting out my website, I wasn't making any money, and it was the time when I first started forex trading. So there are times when my website was to go offline because I failed to pay for the hosting fee. So I ended up moving from Cloudways, and I ended up going for something cheaper, and that was something like Namecheap also, which was like for $3 or so. Okay, so when I went for Namecheap, like I went for Namecheap. When I went for Namecheap, I was able to afford it, but the website performance was really bad. Okay, and again, I needed something to be able to control. So shared hosting is really bad, so I wanted something more like a VPS. So from there, I went on and I went to Voucher. So Voucher is the cheapest platform you can actually get to own your own VPS. So they've got VPS servers from as low as $6, which give you like a 1 GB RAM VPS with 64 or 32 GB of storage. Yep. Okay, so when it comes to Voucher, you actually control everything. For you to make use of Voucher, like you need to have programming skills. So as for me, I am a programmer, so I was able to do everything. But unfortunately, like my website used to have a lot of errors there and then, so I had to move away from Voucher and I had to go to Closety. So what is Closety? So Closety is actually a pay to use hosting platform. So like instead of paying, let's say, $10 a month, you actually build for the resources you are using. So they bill you according to CPU usage, okay, bandwidth usage, they bill you according to RAM used, okay, and other components. So cost was good. So unfortunately, at some point, my site started increasing in traffic. Okay, so as the traffic increased, even the monthly fee I was paying kept on increasing. So I ended up sharing the profit I was making from my website with Krusty. So eventually I moved from Krusty to WP engine. So when it comes to the WP engine, okay, it was good. Okay, actually pay of about $30 per month is actually quite good. So unfortunately, the same problem happened is my website was using up all the bandwidth. So instead of just paying $30 a month, I ended up paying more than $30 a month. So I wasn't really good about it. So from there, I moved from Closety and I actually went to the platform where I'm currently on is actually Temple. Okay, so what is Temple? Temple is actually a new WordPress managed hosting. It's not really expensive, but it has got an intro or a starter hosting plan for $15 a month, and it comes with a Google CDN, and the website is actually hosted on Google Cloud. So Temple is the best. So I'm on Temple for more than 3 months now, and my website is super fast. It has never gone offline. I've never encountered errors. Okay, and the support team is really good. They do really help. So I've quite used of about 6 hosting providers, and according to this, what I can recommend is if you've got some programming skills and if you'd like to be able to control everything on your own, Voucher is a platform to go to. But if this is when you're starting out and you would like to have your website, then Namecheap is for you. Okay, and if you'd like to host multiple websites and you are on a low budget, Cloudways is for you. Okay, if you're a company, WP Engine is for you and Tempo is for you. So among all these, Tempo is actually the best. So if you learned something from this video, give it a like. For more videos like this, go on and subscribe. Bye for now.